Beloved, there are moments in life when heaven leans closer than we realize. Moments when the whispers of eternity brush against the quiet places of our hearts. And today, I believe with all my soul that you are living in such a moment. For the message is urgent, the voice is gentle, and the call is unmistakable. Angels, God's messengers, are leaning over the balcony of heaven, carrying a word for you. Pay attention. Someone is crying for your love, not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. Not because you are lost, but because God is guiding you toward a divine connection, a relationship touched by His fingerprints. You see, God often speaks long before we understand. He nudges us, stirs us, burdens us, softens us, and awakens us. And when He wants your attention, He does not shout, He whispers. And He sends His angels to stir your spirit so that you will pause, listen, and understand that something holy is unfolding. Today, heaven is pulling on your heart because someone's tears, someone's longing, someone's silent prayers have reached the throne of God. And He is urging you to open your eyes, guard your heart, and be ready for what He is revealing. So let us walk together into this message. Let us step into what God is saying. For this is not just another word, this is a divine appointment. There comes a moment in every believer's journey when God begins stirring the heart in ways that feel unexplainable. It is not fear, not confusion. It is not emotional instability. It is the gentle awakening of a divine assignment. When heaven begins to whisper that someone is crying for your love, it is not about romance alone. It is about spiritual responsibility. It is about God drawing your attention towards someone whose life is connected to your purpose. Many times, people assume the feelings that rise within them are random, temporary, or flesh-driven. But there is a difference between emotional impulse and spiritual burden. Emotional impulses fade quickly, but spiritual burdens stay and grow heavier until they are acknowledged. When God places someone repeatedly on your heart, it is because that soul is tied to something He is shaping within you. There are times when a name, a memory, or a face begins to return to your thoughts unexpectedly. You may find yourself thinking about someone during quiet moments, feeling an ache in your spirit you cannot explain. That sensation is not a coincidence. It is heaven moving in your heart. It is a sign that God is aligning you with someone who needs your love, your prayer, your attention, or your presence. You may try to ignore it. You may try to brush it off. But the feeling returns stronger because it is not human-made. It is heaven sent. God does not stir your spirit without reason. He is not chaotic. He is intentional, and every emotion He awakens has purpose written behind it. Often, the person you suddenly feel drawn toward is in a silent battle. They may be crying in ways you cannot see. They may be struggling in ways they cannot speak. Their tears may be falling in private moments you will never witness. But heaven sees them. Angels record every tear. God hears every whisper from their heart. And because He sees what you cannot see, He begins to place their burden upon your spirit. When someone's silent cry reaches the throne of God, He often responds by connecting them to the very person destined to uplift, strengthen, or love them. That person may be you. This is why your heart feels heavy when you think of them, is why compassion rises inside you without warning. This is why, even when you try to focus on other things, your mind returns to them. God is preparing you to become an instrument of love, healing, or restoration in their life. Heaven knows their condition, and heaven chooses you as part of the answer. You may not understand the full picture yet, and that's perfectly normal. God rarely shows the entire plan at once, but He always reveals enough to get your attention. Spiritual sensitivity is a gift, not a weakness. When you feel things deeply, it is because heaven has trusted you with the emotions of another soul. You may wonder why this person's pain affects you. You may wonder why you're feeling an urgency you cannot explain, because there is a divine connection between you that is waking up. God often begins preparing hearts long before He brings clarity. Before He brings people together physically, He connects them spiritually. Before He reveals a relationship publicly, He awakens compassion privately. This stirring inside you is not just about love, it is about alignment. It is about destiny. It is about stepping into a role God has already ordained. When the angels say someone is crying for your love, they are reminding you that heaven is working in quiet, hidden places. God is touching the deepest parts of your heart because He wants you to notice the one He is positioning in your life. If you ignore it, you may miss a divine appointment. But if you listen, if you pause, if you acknowledge the tug inside your spirit, you will understand that God is preparing you for something sacred. There are seasons in life when God allows you to feel what another person cannot express. Their soul may be crying out, their heart may be longing, their mind may be overwhelmed, yet their lips remain silent. Words fail them, fear restrains them, pride traps them, or circumstances prevent them from speaking their truth. But heaven hears what humans hide, and when someone's unspoken cry reaches the throne of God, the response often comes in a mysterious way. God begins to stir your spirit. Start sensing emotions you cannot trace. You begin to feel heaviness you cannot explain, and suddenly your thoughts shift towards someone you had not planned to think about. This is not emotional confusion, spiritual communication. It is the language of the soul. It is heaven allowing you to spiritually perceive what the person themselves is too afraid or too broken to reveal. There are moments when you wake up with a strange ache inside and their face flashes in your mind. You feel a pull, a concern, or an unexplainable tenderness. You may even sense their sadness as if it were your own. This is not imagination. It is not desperation. It is a sign that your spirits are connected. God allows you to feel their emotional state because He intends for you to respond with understanding, patience, grace, or love. The angels say they are crying for your love because heaven knows they need you, even if they cannot admit it. They may be longing for your presence, hoping for your comfort, or praying for reconciliation. They may be wrestling with fears you do not know, with wounds that make them hesitate, or with regrets that keep them silent. Their soul reaches for you because there is something about your love that brings peace, something about your spirit that brings healing, something about your presence that brings clarity. Many times people cry for love not because they are weak, but because they are awakening. Something inside them is shifting. They are beginning to recognize who truly cares for them, who truly understands them, truly touches their soul. They may have tried to run from it, deny it, distract themselves from it, but the connection keeps pulling them back. And when the emotional weight becomes too strong, their soul cries out, not loudly, not publicly, but spiritually. God hears that cry, and He responds by alerting your heart. There is a sensitivity God gives to certain people, a sensitivity that allows them to feel beyond words and see beyond the surface. When you carry that gift, you may often think your emotions are too strong, too sudden, or too irrational. But what you call sensitivity, heaven calls discernment. You are feeling the spiritual condition of someone tied to your destiny. God allows that connection to manifest in your emotions so you can understand their needs without being told, is why their sadness affects you deeply, their silence makes you uncomfortable, and their distance feels heavy in your chest. Their soul is reaching for you, and your spirit is hearing the cry. Important to understand that when the angels say someone is crying for your love, does not always mean they want attention or validation. Often it means they are afraid of losing you, afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of repeating past mistakes, afraid of loving and being hurt again. Their tears are evidence of the internal battle between what their soul knows and what their mind fears. And God is asking you to be spiritually aware, not emotionally blind. This connection is not meant to overwhelm you, but to guide you. When heaven lets you feel their cry, it is because there is a divine purpose unfolding. You are being invited to show compassion where judgment would be easy, to offer patience where frustration would be natural, and to extend love where distance once existed. Heaven is not stirring your heart randomly. It is positioning you to be a vessel of peace, healing, and divine reassurance for someone whose soul is reaching for you in silence. God never brings two hearts together without preparing them first. And often that preparation happens long before either person realizes what God is doing. When the angels say someone is crying for your love, it is not simply about emotional longing, it is about divine timing. It means heaven sees both hearts entering a season of alignment, refinement, and awakening. You may not see the changes happening within them, and they may not see the changes happening within you, but God is working on both sides. He is shaping, cleansing, and softening hearts so that when He brings you together, the connection is strong enough to carry purpose, not just passion. Love ordained by God requires maturity, humility, healing, and wisdom. It demands that both hearts be ready, not just willing. So God begins His work privately before revealing His plan publicly. Many people misunderstand the waiting season and think the delay means denial. But delay is often God's protection. He revealed the relationship too soon. The wounds would collide. The fears would speak louder than faith. And insecurities would overshadow destiny. The angels saying someone is crying for your love is a sign that this person is undergoing transformation. They are not just missing you. They are being prepared for you. They might be confronting old fears, letting go of past attachments.